I am Doug Rendy. I'm the CEO and president of Shapes Unlimited out of Youngstown, Ohio. I'm one of the leads in the task force that's bringing Fence Pulse forward to the industry association. I think the first piece of the puzzle is, for the entire membership, is the key for AFA is to grow the industry. That's the value of the industry association and its benefit to all the members. But to do that, you have to understand the industry. How big is it? What are the trends impacting the marketplace? Could be economic trends, things like tariffs, things like immigration and labor. And what are all those things that every day are impacting the opportunity to grow the industry of fencing within the broader building materials and construction industry? So if you understand that, then you need to go to the next level to understand what are the things that are impacting each of my constituents within the industry association. How's that impacting the manufacturers? How's that impacting the contractors? How's it impacting the installer? And how's the consumer responding to all those factors? So as we create within the industry association a new, for the first time, well-defined market research study on the size and trends of the industry, we now have a better macro view of, is it growing? Is it growing in all parts of the country, all regions, residentially, commercially, remodel replacement? How's it impacting vinyl fencing, aluminum fencing, wood fencing? And then from there, to your question on Fence Pulse, how's it impacting the individual companies that are part of our membership? Is it impacting their average job size? Are they able to sell more product to fewer customers and get a better return on that investment? Fence Pulse provides literally a pulse of the industry. How do you get that pulse? Well, through the NPS program, you ask the customer. Brief surveys. Did I meet your expectations in bringing this finished product to your home? Did I do it well? Or was my staff courteous? Were they cleanly? Did they do it on time in a budget that met your expectations? By getting that sort of immediate customer satisfaction feedback, you now have hard measurements that you can use within your company to be able to adjust the dials, to make sure that my satisfaction rating goes up every day. One of the ways that you do that is not only using the information to help manage your business, but to align it to every individual within your company so that their compensation, their continuous improvement is based on satisfying the customer. So you have a granular piece in terms of Fence Pulse that gives them immediate information coming back from your end customer as to how well I did or what improvements do I need to make. As I collect that data over a period of time, because you're not going to jump too far too fast. But if you get a compendium, if you will, of information that says, no, we're continually missing the mark here, then you put those process improvements in place. If you understand those process improvements and can align it to your organization, now you get everybody stroking to the same beat, if you will, to help your organization move faster, become more efficient, and become more profitable. Then you take that sort of granular information and apply it to the broader study that the industry association will bring next year to say, maybe I need to broaden my labor pool's capabilities to not only do fencing, but railing, to not only do it in the residential sector in new construction, but to spend more time in remodel replacement or vice versa. So now you have meaningful data that turns into information that you can use tactically every day to help grow your business, and then truly plan for the longer term to make the right strategic investments based on the right information.
And what is your biggest promise, I would say, or if you can't promise, what is the hope of opportunity, like you mentioned, that you can absolutely be sure of that they will happen?
You have better, more professional members of the organization who can use the tools to create if you will, the good housekeeping seal of approval. I am a certified installer by the AFA, and my certification is evidenced by having a blank net promoter score that's increased blank percent year over year. So making marketing claims without proof gains a great deal of skepticism by the end customer. If you can quantify the claims that you're making by having real, tangible, quantifiable information, it's another way to improve the professionalism of the company and raise the image and professionalism of the industry as a whole.
So why did AFA want to start all this with your company?
Well, I like any organization, they're looking for feedback. And in my particular role in running Shapes Unlimited, I came into the leadership role with 20 years in between, having run a fencing business for Associated Materials 20 years ago. So when I came back and I introduced myself to Michael and got a sense of what the AFA was looking to do, I asked a stupid question. How are you seeing the industry evolving? How's it growing? And what methodologies are you using to quantify its growth and trends? He said, good question. We really don't have that data in a format that we all believe and trust. And Michael, being Michael, said, wouldn't you like to lead that initiative? So I was volunteered to help them think through, how do we create that sort of mechanism? Who can we select within the group to help me and others think through who and how? And that's how we're putting the plan together. So like Fence Pulse, we're talking to the membership. What do you need? What do you want? And how would it impact you? And to your question, how would it really bring value? Why would I want to engage myself in the industry association? And what's it going to do for me? And if we can quantify that, then you're creating even greater want to be part of the industry association and spend a reasonable amount of money to be part of growing and becoming more professional.
And it seems to be that it is a huge investment for a lot of people to want to do this, and the criteria that you're putting out is to prove more of why it is to be an AFA member. Why now and for the future should people think more about becoming a member, and what is the best reason to join and become a member from your experience?
Well, I think there's essentially three big reasons. If you look at the data, there's a significant housing shortage in the United States. And the next generation is looking at, how do I afford housing? How's the housing that's available changing? And what do I need in terms of that house? Well, lot sizes are shrinking, so you need more privacy. Can our industry help there? If the lot sizes are shrinking and the buyer of the home wants not only more privacy, but acoustical sound control, can fencing help? Can railing help? If they want both of those things, and all studies are showing that people are not only living inside their home, but the outside of their home is becoming an extension of the inside. Outdoor kitchens, outdoor entertainment areas, outdoor living areas. So more money is being spent outside than ever before to create living space. So the market opportunity is growing, and my kids in their 30s are buying very differently than I did. So if you can show them that there's a level of professionalism in your company that is also using new technology. It's not a guy coming in with a yellow pad and saying, I'd like to sell you a fence, but can show you visibly with a visualizer or an online estimating tool how those things can be put into their yard and show them what it's going to look like. Raising that professionalism is going to improve their ability to close bigger opportunities faster. And the industry association can give them all those tools to do that.
So true. And I think that's what I've never talked to anybody that has said this hasn't benefited me some form. somebody that's coming into it that doesn't really have a reason, they don't really see the benefits of it, what do you have to say to those people?
Like anything else, show them the proof. Don't just say we're a great industry organization. Show them that the membership has grown on a year-over-year basis, that our membership's job size or total project size is increasing. The membership and all of its participants are having more certified installers as part of their program because they're using it as a marketing tool. Show them the value, prove the value, have the quantifying elements of it, and because you're part of an industry association, it takes less money out of your pocket. Well, how? So if I was to go online or have independent people come into my organization to help train my salespeople, or to go to other classes in academia to learn estimating, all of that's essentially free within the industry association. And because you may be new to the industry, you may be scratching your head and saying, how do I do this? You have thousands of people who've done it just the same way, starting with a good idea, but now you have a whole baseline of subject matter experts that you can tap into. You can tap into people who've been doing it for 30 years very successfully and use them as sort of mentors to help them understand you were in the same position as they were and have them advance the business, because we need, not only in fencing, but in the entire construction industry, a whole new generation of people to come in and understand the value of providing good service, high quality products, because they want that. And this next generation is going to want that in different ways than we've ever done before. So more young people who can come in and understand how they and their contemporaries want to be sold, each part of the organization can learn from each other. Because the 30-year-old guy may not know as well as you do, as a newbie, how a millennial wants to be sold. And how do you share those best practices?
With professional development, like you said, do you see something like Fence Tech as more beneficial from the education side, or being able to network and see all that it has to offer with the new development?
I think it's both. I think it's almost equally weighted, because on one hand, the association is giving you personalized information to help you in your business, but it takes a village. So the more that you can tap into the network of other subject matter experts and learn from them, there's a great deal of collegial, if you will, opportunities here, because that's the benefit of an industry association. People like to be part of it because they can help one another. And if they raise the tide, so to speak, it creates even more visibility for the industry and its membership. So I think it's both.
And are you associated with anything else within the AFA, or is Fence Pulse your first initial?
Well, Fence Pulse was the first, and then I was drafted to lead the initiative on the overall market study. So we're starting that process now. We've got a team of people that have been put together representing all parts of the industry association. And next week, we'll be putting out an RFP to some of the more professional organizations who do that level of market research. And by this time next year at Fence Tech, we'll be launching, here is the industry. Here are the growth trends. Here are the sub-segments. Here are the indices associated with what's growing and what's not and why. And then using some of the new sort of survey mechanisms to supplement that. Here's what the membership's saying. Am I getting more efficiency out of my labor pool? Am I seeing the same sort of things in terms of the impact of tariffs? So that sort of voice of the customer will be another layer to get the macro, the micro, and then the granular information that the NPS will also provide to really have good data to help grow the industry.
One last question. Somebody's not so sure about coming to a Fence Tech next year. What do you have to say to those people?
Well, for next year, I say you're going to love Indianapolis. Like anything else, sometimes it's the venue, and certainly Salt Lake has been absolutely beautiful, and the year prior, Nashville. So I think that there's also not only the benefit of all the aspects that the industry association brings to the convention, But having a community like Indianapolis and all of the other things that are part of it is a great experience for both the participants in the industry and their families. So when you come to a city like Indianapolis and you're coming to a downtown area that, in my view, not living there, but having visited many times, is one of the more thoughtfully planned big cities in the country because everything's in walking distance. So if you want to go to a concert, you want to go to a sporting event, you're not having to hop on an Uber. Everything's in walking distance. And for those who are inclined to motor racing, yeah, the Brickyard's not far away either. So there are some social aspects of this too that I think bring great value.